Recording this session. Great. So welcome to the week number 5. We are 3 weeks from finishing. Okay. So, well, as I always said, like it's really impressive that you have arrived until the week number 5. I have been checking your activities because I have been seeing that you have completed some of the activities, ready? So it's just a reminder. Remember that there are still 3 weeks more of activities, and including the final checkpoint, and including also the checkpoints 7 and 8, 5 and 6, all of them, right? So for you to take into account. Bueno, guys, we're gonna start here today with a very simple question. The idea of this week, it's talking about a fit life. No, you know what is the meaning of fit, or what we know by fit or fitness? What is that? What could be fit?
Como algo sano, maybe.
Exactly, exactly like that. So that's why here it's a synonym of healthy. No, it's something that is good for my body, right? So the idea is talking about a fit life, just like a fit or a healthy lifestyle. Ready? But we're going to be working around it, right? Not only about fit or exercise, but other kind of things that are related to it. Ready? So we're going to start today with 2 questions, okay? Mr. Brian, could you please help me to read the question number 1, the one that is here?
Do you think contact with nature is important for a healthy lifestyle? Do you have such contact?
Very good. The pronunciation is nature. Ready? So, do you think contact with nature is important for a healthy lifestyle? And do you have such a contact? When I have such, remember that we saw what is the meaning of such, right? But in this context is I am making reference to the contact that I previously mentioned. So when I say, do you have such contact? It's like, y tienes tal contacto that we previously mentioned, the contact with nature, ¿no? Entonces es una referencia a un sustantivo anterior, right? Entonces, guys, what do you think? Is important the contact with nature or it's not important? And do you have that contact? Do you contact or do you put yourself in contact with the nature or not so much?
Yes, teacher is important.
Mhm, mhm. What about you guys? But yeah, Christian, Daniela, yes, tell me.
I think the contact with nature is important, but I don't have
None. A little bit or none, nothing, nothing.
a little.
A little, okay, very good. And Chris, do you have it? Of course, it's important, but do you have contact or not?
Yes, I think that is important, but I don't have enough contact with nature.
Okay.
Nature.
Okay.
Sometimes the weekends when
Uh-huh.
I go to the park, but not every time.
Yeah.
Not always.
It's not enough. As you said, it's not enough, no? Because it should be more frequently, no?
Yes, teacher.
Exactly. Good. Well, so in that case, a contact with nature makes reference to how you connect with the nature, no? So, of course, going to the river, going to the park, as Christian said, just breathing fresh air, no? But many times we are still in the office, breathing the same air, or we don't go to exercise to the park, or probably we don't practice any sport, or we don't ride bicycles. That are many different ways to connect with nature, no? So, guys, question number 2. Mrs. Daniela, help me to read it all complete.
What is your favorite way to connect with nature, even if you don't do it very often?
Exactly, no? So what is your favorite way to connect with nature, even if you don't do it very often, no? But I know that it's difficult to connect with nature many times, but even if you don't do it very often, what is your favorite way to connect with nature? Go to the park, go to the river, go camping, no, but camping it's another way, or practice sports, or just, no say, open the windows of your apartment and letting the air flow. What is your favorite way?
Teacher, in my opinion, is go to the beach.
Oof, of course. Well, go to the beach is an incredible way to connect with the nature, right? Good, Brian. Excellent recommendation. What about you guys? What do you think?
Teacher, in my case, my favorite way to connect with nature is riding bicycle in mountains.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Well, like, of course, in Bogota, it's a little bit dangerous because on the eastern mountains, they rob
No,
people, no?
no, the easy ones. No, I don't know.
Like,
Bueno, las fáciles, the easy.
yes, but which ones? Like, for example, el Alto del Vino, those things?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. The most common one. Good.
Like riding bicycle in some nature place.
Mm-hmm. It's a natural place, right? Because, you know, nature, it means
Naturaleza.
naturaleza, of course, but the adjective, it's natural. It means
Okay.
natural. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Chris. Okay, and Danny, what do you think?
I like go to the park, ride a bicycle, and walk when it's raining.
Really? Do you like when it's raining?
Yes.
That is not so strange, but is it not bad for, you know, get a cold or something like that, like get the flu?
Maybe no. I like.
Okay, okay, very good, excellent. Okay, guys, so well, in this case, there are many different ways to connect with nature. Go to natural places like the beach, like the forest, like the mountain. Do activities outside, play sports, exercise, you know, jogging. What is the meaning of jogging? I always forgot what is the meaning of jogging. What is that? Jogging.
Trotar, profe. Teacher.
Trotar, muy bien, excellent, very good. So there are many activities that you can do outside, but I consider that there is another way in which you can make contact with nature, and it's through the animals, right? Through the animals, the pets or the animals outside, right? Of course, you're not going to go with a bear or something like that, but animals are part of the nature, so they help you to connect, put in contact with the nature, right? So today we're going to expand a little bit our vocabulary in them, and we're going to do another thing that is important, right? We're going to talk about comparisons, but in a very, very, very advanced way that it's as a metaphor. You know what it's a metaphor? Well, of course, it's the same as in Spanish, no? So, metáfora. So we're going to try to learn how to do that today, right? Bueno, let's start by the vocabulary of the animals, right? Guys, the question is really simple. Do you know these animals? I'm going to show you some animals, ready? Some pictures of animals. And then what you have to do is simply tell me what is the name of that animal. Is that okay? Do you understand the activity? Yes? Very good. Guys, for making it easier, write the name of the animal in the chat. Okay, don't use the microphone, but just write it down in the chat so we can make it a little bit easier. Okay, so you just have to write down the name of the animal in the chat. Okay, so number one, easy, easy peasy, guys. Tiger, no? That's super simple. Very good. Excellent. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, tiger. Very good. Number two. Easy, easy peasy again. Well, it means that this is not a turtle because the turtles are the ones that walk. This one, which is from the ocean, it's called a tortoise, right? Because this one doesn't have legs. It doesn't have legs, but this one has fins. What is the meaning of fins, guys?
Aletas.
Aletas, very good, excellent. So this one it's a little bit different. It's pretty similar to the turtle, but it's not the same. Okay? Okay, guys, good. Next one. Easy. That one is, my God, very famous. The shark. Uh-huh. Very good, Brian. The shark. Now, what about this one? Whoosh, my God, this one it's a little bit difficult. Hmm. Muy bien, Daniela. Very good. The skunk. Ready? The skunk. This one it's not so common, so I'm gonna write it down here. Skunk. Ready? Very good. Mhm, mhm. Bueno, now we have here the next one. Okay, this one. What about this one? Moose. Okay, could be. There is another way to do it. There is another way. Elk. Muy bien, very good. Well, both are going to be fine. Just moose or elk. Ready? Very good. Great. Now, the next one. Oh my God, this one. Oh, very good, guys. You have a good vocabulary. You have a good vocabulary. Good. So, oh, great. Excellent. Now, what about the next one? Hmm, these ones. What's the name of these little beautiful animals? Very good, Brian. Very good. Squirrel. Ready? Sometimes they are also called chipmunkies, like chipmonkey. I don't know why they call them like that, but sometimes they are called like that, like Chip and Dale. Well, there was a cartoon about these two. Ready? So squirrel is the common name. That's the one that everybody knows by. Ooh, what about this one? What is that? What the hell is that? No, nothing. Any ideas? What is that? Pimba. No, because it's not cuerpo espín. No es, en español no es cuerpo espín, sino puerco espín. So in English, it's going to be porcupine. Ready? It's porcupine, it's puerco espín. Okay, that's good. Listo, guys. Very good, excellent. So this one, easy. That one is super simple. What is the name of this one? Kangaroo, very good, but with K, not with Z, but with K, right? Kangaroo. Okay, very nice. Mhm. This one, my God, this one it's pretty common. Wolf, very good. That one is easy. What about this one? You know, the ones that steal food. They are adorable. They are like little roeders. Bueno, big roeders better, right? So, raccoon, muy bien, great. Raccoon. Okay, okay, good. What about this one? It's not real turkey, no? Of course, real turkey, it's not the name. Has a different name. What do you think? No, no ideas? Peacock, right? That's the name. Pavo real, right? So peacock. Mhm. Listo. What about the next one? Easy, super simple. Fox. Excellent, Brian. Very good, Fox. Muy bien, Chris. Then what about this one? Still the name the same as in Spanish, right? Koala, right? That's the same. Very good. And this one, what about that one? It's a lion. It's partly a lion because actually it's a cross between a lion and a tiger. So it's called a liger because it's half lion and half tiger. So it's called a liger. Yes, when they cross a lion with a tiger. Good. Okay, guys. So of course I know that you have the common vocabulary of animals that the dog, the bear, the bee, the birds, the fish, the like common animals. But these ones were a little bit more difficult, no? Like a little bit different from the common ones. So because of course it's a reminder that you have to expand your vocabulary in a simple topic like animals, right? Because of course animals it's a like a topic that everybody knows about and especially the vocabulary needs to be understood, so it's important for you to expand the vocabulary, get to know more animals, right? But so far you did an excellent job. Now you know raccoon, you know squirrel, you know elk, skunk, most of them you know them, so you have a great vocabulary range. Okay, congratulations, guys. Well, but in this case, I told you that okay, the first part was about the animals, the vocabulary, right? But also we are going to work here with metaphors, and not only metaphors with animals, but metaphors in general. No, there is one way when I say as us. Yes, for example, I can say as brave as a lion. It's making a comparison between a lion and a brave person. What is brave?
Valiente.
Valiente, very good. So it's as brave as a lion. Good. There is another one which is, wait, as clever as a fox. So in that case, we have wait, sorry, as clever as a fox, right? What's the meaning of clever?
Como inteligente, listo.
Yes, like astuto, right? Listo. So it's because these beautiful animals are famous for being very, very, very clever, no? So they are super agile and also very, thinking, smart, clever. So that's why they make a comparison, right? So guys, in this case, I can compare the characteristics of the animals with other characteristics like of a human person. Then I can create a metaphor or what we know as a simile. A simile, it's a comparison in which I give one characteristic, making one comparison with other thing, even if the other thing doesn't have really that characteristic, but it's just like a, how do you say that? Impersonal comparison that we can make there. Yes. For example, when a person swims really well, okay, when a person swims really well, swim, okay, here, they can say that they swim, or for example, swim, he swims like a shark. Yes. So they are giving the characteristic to the person of swimming really well, making a comparison with one skill of the shark that is swimming, of course. No. What about if we talk about skunk? What could be the characteristic that we can say he ta 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 like a skunk? Wait, sorry, like a skunk. What might be that characteristic? What do you think?
Smell?
Exactly, very good. He smells like a skunk because, of course, it's the smell. The skunks are famous for smelling bad, you know. So first, it's about comparison, but it's a comparison nevertheless, right? Oh, for example, there is with this one. What does this animal do that it's comparable with a person? So let's say she, t, 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 like let's change like for us, ready? As a kangaroo. What do you think it's the comparison here?
Maybe box?
Well, that is like in a cartoon thing, but they
Okay.
do other thing that it's super
Jump?
exactly. Well, we could say hop or jump, right? In this case, jumps. She jumps as a kangaroo, so she jumps really, really high, right? So all of these similes, what they are doing, it's comparing, sorry, two things, right? Maybe one animal and one thing, maybe one thing and one person, maybe one person and one thing. So it's just a matter of finding characteristics in common. Ready? But the similes normally and in normal English, we use like. Like is the most common one, no? So you listen all the time when they listen like, for example, no, there is a sentence that is like he was like, or the person must say, let's say, my father was like ta ta ta, for expressing like what was the attitude of the father. My father was like so annoying. My father was like very strict. My father was like, don't do that, don't do that, just for exemplify. Ready? So that like it's going to be like always used. Yes. Even myself, I use it a lot because it's really common and it's a really good connector. No, I have listened, for example, Christian using it too, Daniela using it too, right? So in that case, that like it's really common, but it's not the only way. Yes, we have to learn how are they created. Yes, so the similes, as I said, is a comparison between two things, right? For example, in this case, I am going to compare the way that the person sleeps. Yes. In this case, it says he sleeps as if he were sick. I am comparing the way that the person sleeps and the way that a sick person sleeps. Of course, the man is not really sick. It's just a metaphor. It's just giving temporarily the characteristic of being sick for giving that, like, how can I say that? For expressing that intention of that the person sleeps really, really deep, right? So that's why I use in this case as if. As if it means como si. Yes? So he sleeps as if he were sick. Okay? Ready? There is another way to do it. I can say, for example, he sleeps the way as a sick person does. In this case, the way it's similar to del mismo modo que, right? Notice that in this case, at the end of the sentence, I can use the verb. Yes, he sleeps the way a sick person sleeps. Or normally I can use the auxiliary. The auxiliary of the simple present is just does, no more. Yes. So he sleeps the way a sick person sleeps, or he sleeps the way a sick person does. Okay. Another way to create that comparison. Okay. So guys, in general terms, we're going to have a lot of different ways to create comparisons. Let's check what is the difference between them. Okay. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Exactly. Mr. Christian, help me to read the first purple part.
As if an as
Though,
if though often introduce clauses that describe impressions about feelings or behavior after verbs such as act, behave, feel, look, seem, and talk.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris. So we have the expression as if and as though, right? Both of them are como si, yes? And what they do is introduce comparisons based on impressions or perceptions. Ready? Usually after verbs such as act, actuar, behave, comportarse, feel, sentirse, look, verse, seem, parecer, or talk, hablar, right? So in that case, the example says, Still, I feel as if something is missing. Or still, I feel as though something is missing. It means that it's making a comparison like, okay, como si algo estuviera faltando, ¿no? Expressing like a perception. Similar in the example before. He sleeps as if he were sick. The person is not sick, but it's my perception. So that's why I use as if or as though. Ready? They are a little bit more formal than the others, no? The other ones are more conversational. These ones are more formal, right? As if and as though. Okay? Another example. For example, I don't know. I see a person who's crying. I don't know, the person is crying. Yes? So I can say that, let's say he looks, my perception, he looks as though he is heartbroken. What is the meaning of heartbroken? I forgot it.
Corazón roto.
Exactly. Despechado, what we call despechado, no, in Spanish. So he looks as though he were heartbroken. He's heartbroken. No say, I'm just guessing. I'm making a comparison, but that is my impression. So after verbs, like for example, look, I can use as though to introduce what is my perception of that. ¿Listo? Ready? Guys, ¿qué tal estas dos? Questions, difficulties, easy, difficult.
It's clear, teacher.
Good. Brian, Danny, okay, no problem, all fine.
No problem.
Yes, teacher.
Excellent, very good, right? Then I also have the possibility to use only as, yes, as and the way, yes. In this case, as, it's common, and the way it's de la misma forma que o de la manera que, right? So they introduce clauses that express a comparison, yes, not so much like a perception of something, but it's a comparison with another thing, yes. So in that case, as it's just making the comparison. So, for example, Christian sleeps, speaks, pardon, speaks as a native, right? Someday, of course. So I am just using as and the other subject. The person swims as a shark. The person jumps as a kangaroo. The person is as brave as a lion. The person is, no sé, smells as a skunk, right? So that as only requires the other subject. Yes, the subject number one, the action, the comparison, and then the subject number two. Nothing else. That's it. But if I use the way, I need to introduce after the second subject the verb or the auxiliary. No? For example, I can say, I don't know, let's say Daniela is swimming the way a shark does it, or a shark does. It means in this moment, yes, she is swimming or she swims the way a shark with the auxiliary does, or the way a shark swims, right? I can use both possibilities. So they both introduce comparison, but one it's shorter, the other one it's more complete because introduces the verb or the auxiliary of the sentence, right? Hmm? ¿Qué tal estas dos, guys? Questions, difficulties, problems.
It's clear, teacher.
Yeah. Okay. Listo, guys. Very good. Let's check the example. We didn't check it before. So it's, I am thinking of joining a volunteer program to help build houses for the needy. Yes, para los necesitados. As or the way a few of my friends have. In this case, has have, así como lo han hecho. So more commonly it would be the way a few of my friends have. If I could use as, it's possible to use also with have, or I can just mean it. So I can say simply, I'm thinking of joining a volunteer program to build houses for the needy as a few of my friends. That's it, right? Of course, when I have as, I have both possibilities with the final auxiliary or without it. Ready? Good. Listen, guys. And then the last one is, as we talked about before, like. Ready? It says in informal English, it's more conversational. Like can be used instead of, as if, as though, as o the way. Significa que puede reemplazar cualquiera de las anteriores, solo que es mucho más informal. Es decir, yo puedo decir, he looks like he is heartbroken. Daniela is swimming like a shark. Good. So in that case, I can use like for replacing all the other expressions that we saw before, right? Se dicen, profe, pero entonces si like reemplaza al anterior, entonces ¿para qué usamos los anteriores? Bueno, por el registro, porque like, como vemos acá, es muy informal. Las anteriores son un poquito más formales, ready? So that's why we have to do it. ¿Mm? Guys, ¿qué tal? Questions, difficulties, problems, anything? Confuso, clarito, más o menos.
Clear, teacher.
Listo, muy bien, very good, excellent. So, for example, here, guys, look at the face of this woman. Look at her face, right? What do you think of her? What is your perception of her? What do you think? We're going to start the sentence by she looks because, oh, she seems, no? Because we are talking about her appearance. So we can use she looks or she seems. And then, bueno, you can use any of these expressions, no? So, what do you think of her?
She looks as as if she were mad, maybe.
Perfect, very good. She looks as if she were mad. No? Muy bien, great. Uh, okay. Danny, Brian, any other perception?
Mm, She looks like she has a lot of surgery.
Okay, great. So she looks like she has a lot of plastic surgeries, no? Like all Botox, that face. Okay, great. Muy bien. And Danny, do you have any other final?
She looks as a angry teacher.
Good, exactly. She looks as an angry teacher. No, very good. Just with us, so you have to use only the second subject, as an angry teacher. Good, excellent. So Christian used as if, Daniela used as, Brian used like. Great, excellent. You can make it with all the different ways, right? Here I also have my own example. I said that she looks as though she did something really bad. No, she's like, she looks like a criminal, right? So for me, no, of course, it's my perception, but all of the examples that you created, they were perfect. Okay? Listo, guys. Finally, we are going to see that sometimes we can use or we can create this kind of comparison in a shorter way using us and, as I said, the auxiliary. Yes. For that reason, I have a complete sentence. No, for example, Marisa has a lot of trouble accepting change, as does Trina. I am comparing Marisa and I am comparing Trina, and they both have a similar characteristic, that is that they have a lot of trouble accepting the change. Yes. With another auxiliary, Meet has coped well, o sea, como lidiado, ¿cierto? With changes at work, as have his coworkers. Careful, el auxiliar aquí es verb to have, por lo tanto, la comparación es con verb to have. So you have to use only as, the auxiliary, and the second subject. ¿Listo? Example. Let's say Brian. I'm going to use all of you for examples today. Brian speaks really well, as do his classmates. Classmates, right? Aquí era really well, sorry. Okay, so I'm comparing the character, the ability of speaking really well of Brian with the ones that have Daniela and Christian, o sea, his classmates, no? Using do because the sentence is in present continuous, right? Or for example, I can say, no sé, Chris have been very constant, comma, as two, Daniela and Brian. What do you think is the auxiliary here? Chris have been very constant as Daniela and Brian. What do you think?
Does?
¿Será? What do you think?
Did.
Does. Bueno, Christian dice does. Any other options?
Has been.
Only have. ¿Ready? Pues in that case, have, pero aquí es has, de hecho, sí, tienes razón, Chris has been very constant as, pero aquí tengo Daniela and Brian, o sea, dos. Por lo cual, el auxiliar sí es este, pero en plural, o sea, a. Chris has been very constant, as have Daniela and Brian. ¿Bien? ¿Por qué? Porque es en present perfect. ¿Listo? Ready, guys? Entonces es otra forma más usando el as igualmente, pero para una forma más correcta. Right? Es lo mismo que decir Chris has been very constant as Daniela and Brian. Es exactamente lo mismo, simplemente otra estructura diferente. ¿Listo? Ready? Bueno, guys, and there is another kind of explanation that I need to do, and it's that in some cases we can use the past simple of the verb, yes, if it's a imaginary comparison, right? For example, in the first example, I said he sleeps as if he were sick. This is imaginary. Yes, it's not real. Yo sé que no está enfermo. Entonces la comparación es duerme como si estuviera enfermo. Es irreal, right? But if I do it with the simple present, también se puede hacer, yes, it's because it's a real perception. Por ejemplo, he sleeps as if he is really tired. Yes, really tired, it's something that it's possible. Es posible que sí esté muy cansado. So, in that case, I can use the verb in simple present. Si uso el verbo en simple past, es porque es una comparación like, irreal, imaginario. ¿Ok, guys? Igual que el segundo condicional y el primero. Cuando uso el presente es porque es algo real. Cuando uso el pasado es porque es algo imaginario. ¿Listo? ¿Ready? ¿Qué tal, guys? Questions, difficulties, problems, anything? Dudas, quejas, anything?
Now teacher is clear.
Muy bien, guys. Very good. For example, what is the name of this guy? Do you know who's this guy?
Usain Bolt,
Exactly, Usain Bolt. And what is his characteristic?
fast,
Fast, right? Usain Bolt. And this is a hair. Hair, it means, ay my God, se me olvidó. What is the name in Spanish? Liebre, gracias. Thank you. Exactly. So this is a hare, which is one of the fastest animals alive too, right? So how can I create a comparison between these two? Taking into account that, of course, the characteristic is being fast or running fast.
Usain Bolt is as faster as 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 do as do a hair or as a hair do.
In that case, I can do it, but I mean, you can use as y ahí no necesitarías la comita. Puedes decir, Usain Bolt is as fast as a hare, ¿cierto? Esa como la más normalita, la más sencilla, perfecto. Claro que también lo puedo hacer como lo estabas pensando, pero es una oración completa sobre Usain Bolt y al final, después de la coma, es que incluyo la comparación. Ejemplo, Usain Bolt, bueno, he runs really, really fast. He runs really fast, coma, ahí sí, as, como es, así como lo hace en presente simple, so, as does a hare, ¿cierto? Good. He runs really fast as does a hare. Corre súper rápido, así como lo hace una liebre. Otra posibilidad, ¿cierto? Any other possibility? ¿Alguna otra posibilidad? Any other possibility here? No more? No, that's it. One shorter, I can say, for example, he runs like a hare. Another possibility, shorter, yes. Or it can be more complicated or more serious, more formal, right? I can see, for example, he runs as if he, y acá les dejo tarea, he is o he were a hare. ¿Cuál creen que sea? He runs as if he is or as if he were a hare.
Where?
Were, of course, because es imaginaria.
Where?
Realmente no es una liebre, ¿no? Es algo imaginario. Es como si fuera una liebre. ¿Listo? Guys, there are many different ways to do it. I can do it a little bit more simpler using just like, a little bit more complicated using as if or as though, right? Or a little bit like just kind of formal, not complicated, but formal, using the inversion between subject and a auxiliary. Ready? So as does, as is, as have, as all of them. Ready? And well, that's the idea. Of course, here I introduce the topic of the animals because the animals are going to be used in many of the comparisons. Many of the metaphors are created based on the animal's characteristics. The strength, la fuerza, the speed, la velocidad, the skills, las habilidades, right? So that's why we create metaphors using animals all the time. ¿Listo? Ready? Guys, in here we have four people, four different pictures, no? What do you perceive about one of them? Escojan uno solito, one of the pictures, and tell me what do you perceive of them? What do you think of them? For example, I'm going to select this one. the girl. And I'm going to say that she looks as though she has many problems. That's my perception. I am not comparing, I am just expressing my perception. Yes? Using, of course, as though. Okay? What about in your cases? Select one of the others. Doesn't matter if you repeat it, no problem. And tell me what's your perception. You can make a comparison, right?
Teacher, the one in the middle, he looks as quiet as a owl.
Good. He looks as quiet, silent as an owl. Perfect. That's Roboto. He's meditating, no? So that's why he looks as quiet as an owl. Perfect. Danny, Brian, anything else?
They look as if they get married, gotten married.
Exactly. They look as if they got in the past, no? So hasta que se casaron, right? So as if they got married. Yeah. I have another example with this one. It was like they look or they look in love, comma, as does a newlyweds. Newlyweds are like recién casados, right? So they look in love as does newlyweds. O sea, sí, a mí también me parece that they look as if they got married recently. Yeah. Muy bien, Danny. And Brian, what do you think?
Teacher, he looks as if he was lost a lot of exams.
This guy? This one?
Yes, teacher.
Good. So he looks as if he was not just he lost, yes, or he failed. As if he failed a lot of exams. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking more like he looks as if he has a lot of job, no? Like all of this is job. But also it could be also that he failed a lot of exams, no? That's another possibility. Muy bien, guys. So in that case, you have created some metaphors about the pictures that you have seen here. For example, Christian decided to compare my picture with an owl. Great. Yeah. Danny decided to compare or to express the opinion about how they look as if they got married. Yeah. And Brian decided to make a metaphor about his face and the papers there with exams. Yeah. So everybody decides a real different way to express the comparisons and the perception, because of course the perceptions are subjective, are of your own. So, here. Okay, guys. So, questions which are just like randomly, yes. What would it feel like if we were more disciplined with our healthy habits? Yes, that's question number one. Question number two, if you had to compare yourself with an animal, what would it be and why? And question number three, how would you describe the feeling of laziness or discouragement? Question in vocabulary, what is the meaning of laziness?
Como perezoso,
Pereza,
perezosamente.
pereza, ¿listo? Lazy solito es perezoso y este es el sentimiento, o sea, pereza, right? And discouragement, it means como desmotivación, right? Guys, escojan una pregunta y respóndanla. Choose one of the questions, one of the three. No importa si la repiten, no problem. So, what would it feel like if we were more disciplined with our healthy habits? If you had to compare yourself with an animal, what would it be and why? And how would you describe the feeling of laziness or discouragement? Just one question, think the answer, of course, with the comparison or with the metaphor, and tell me. Ready? So do it yourself, don't worry. I'm going to give you some examples here because I know that the questions are a little bit difficult. But for example, what would it feel if we were more disciplined with our healthy habits? Then I would answer that it would feel, it would feel as though, I am motivated. Yeah. Well, in that case, as though I were, because it's just an imaginary situation. Yes, it would feel as though I were motivated, right? Or, for example, how would you describe the feeling of laziness and discouragement? Again, it feels like, or it feels as if, or it feels as though, or it feels the way, you can answer like that. And the answer, the question in the middle, it's simpler. No sé, I am as, as fast as a cheetah. Yes, because I run super fast, for example. No, or I am as constant as a bull, because I never turn back. Nunca me retiro, no? I never turn back, right? Something like that. So think on the answer. Tell me if you are ready. Tell me the answer.
Teacher, first, I will feel best because I will use my time in things that will help me physically and mentally.
Good. But I would feel better, no best, because best is el mejor, right? Here it's better, solo mejor. That's it, right? So I would feel better because you would do things, okay? So you would feel as if you were, or as if you are helping your body mentally and physically. Muy bien. Thank you, Brian.
Three teacher.
Mhm.
It feels as a koala as you just sleep.
Uh-huh, good. Very good. So Daniela compares the feeling of laziness and discouragement as a koala, right? So it feels as a koala and as as if she just wanted to sleep. Very good. Okay. And Chris?
The number three too.
Mhm.
It feels as if you have much energy, but as though you don't know how to use it.
Okay, okay. Well, that's a different description, mine. Very clear, but I have never listened about that description of laziness. Good. So as if you have a lot of energy, but as if you didn't know how to use it. Okay, very philosophical, man. Very good. Okay, guys. So in that case, as you can see, the idea of these ways of using metaphors and similes, it's going to help me not only talking about animals, no, but talking about habits, talking about feelings, perceptions, right? How do you feel when you do this? I feel as if da da da, right? How do you feel when you feel when you have this feeling? Okay, I feel like let's say I feel as strong as a lion, for example. So you can make these kind of comparisons in order to express perceptions, feelings. So let your mind out, express your mind and all of those ideas. Okay, guys? Bueno, guys, so for today, that's all. It's our class number 5.1. Remember that on Thursday, we have our class 5.2. So see you there, 8 p.m. Okay, guys. So for the moment, thank you for being here. See you on Thursday. Okay, see you on Thursday. That's it. Have a good night.
Thank you, teacher. Good night.
See you. Goodbye.
Bye, teacher. Thanks.
Bye, bro. See you soon.